Okay, let's get to the, like, we can start with daily. Daily close inside bar. Um, really strong bearish trend bar, but still nevertheless an inside bar. But pretty big span. Kind of at this point really just the confirmation of this range is real and we still want to show it some sort of respect. So I would assume that definitely there should be some profit taking occurring right around here when we start to get to this area, maybe as high as here or something like that, maybe just underneath this. And possibly some bulls could step in as they have here, here, and here, and here, and I guess kind of here as well at this low to try and push it back towards this high. But this definitely looks like a 1-2 down and 1-2 up, so probably in the zone of maybe putting in a 1-2 down again into these mid or low 50s range. Maybe to this level. Oh, this would probably be the next support region, support area. This is the last place we found any sort of support. Kind of also the previous swing high. So probably some buying would be occurring in here. And if not, then all the way potentially as far as down here. But I don't think that seems as realistic. I think it's probably pretty likely for us to make a more real retest of this level and then take a shot. So I'm guessing this is not going to be an inside bar today. Probably going to break out towards the downside and then maybe close back in the middle of the range or something like that as a green bar, and then maybe try and make another push up to at least this level to test this level 64.3. Because that would be a 3 push. That would be 3 pushes up within this parallel channel, which we can draw as well, actually. Something like this, right? Which we're actually at the bottom of the low of anyway. So maybe we take a reach right outside of it and then just like a wick, and then to the top of the channel, put in the third push, and then go lower. This is a long time frame for us to be in this type. Jesus, be in this type of area. It's kind of either way you cut it. We're at some sort of theoretical support range. If we consider our outside bar on the lower time frame, I think it was a 4-hour outside down bar. That was a big bar, or outside up bar. Yeah, we're getting closer to the bottom of this range. We're of course at the bottom of this diagonal range, and then the horizontal range that we've drawn as well. We're nearing that low as well, right? So a lot of different reasons that buyers might be getting somewhat eager, and the main reasons that they would be disregarding that eagerness is how strong these last 2 daily candles have been. But let's go into lower time frame and see what we're looking at, because I think probably want to be looking for buys cautiously, I guess. I would think that there should be more buyers down here, right, than sellers, because we've been shown time and time again that there's more buyers down here than sellers. This time they bounced up, bounced back. This time they bounced back. This time they bounced back. Here they bounced back really strongly. Here they bounced back also quite with some strength. And so now we may be expecting this one to get run back up. That would be the bullish impetus. Bearish impetus is probably waiting for, bears probably would rather have a breakthrough here and then maybe even a retest. A lower high retest would be great. But technically, bears have had this low 1 activation, and here's your low 1 pullback, and this is our low 2 pullback. So really, I guess bears are technically activating, oops, let me get rid of this. I guess bears are technically activating below this inside bar. This is an inside bar, technically, even though it's super huge. But the bearish entry, if you weren't already short, is here. And with this type of stop, definitely have to be careful of with your profit, because you probably don't want to just bring it down here. You probably want to target something a little further, maybe down this way. And I think that makes sense, especially if we are to dump through this region. I don't think we would necessarily just stop here. I think we would probably try and put in a, oops, I think we'd probably try and put in a 1-to-1 at the very least kind of thing situation. So that coincides right with this region as well at around 55. So I guess that's what bears are looking for and waiting for. It probably makes more sense because we're in a clear range here, that if we are going to look for shorts, that you probably wait for the bounce outside of this beneath this bar to trigger the trade. And maybe you take part of that position there, but not majority of it. Majority of it, you wait for a little bit of a pullback, because we are still in this range here, and we theoretically should get a better opportunity somewhere a little higher. We may not break above this bar, but we might get a short in this area, 62.3, 62.5 kind of thing. That might make a little bit more sense. That would be on a lower time frame. If you're just strictly playing the higher time frame, it would be the short underneath this bar. So that's the daily. On the 4-hour, like we said earlier, we had the short underneath this bar. And since then, been in a pretty strong channel. It's almost like a spike and spike rather than a spike and channel, because we have a clear spike here, and this is a pretty strong spike as well. But it does function as a spike and channel. And so bulls are hoping to push out of here and take a shot up at this level. I think the strength of this bearish bar, though, compared to these two bull bars, I would think there's probably going to be like a bear flag looking pattern on lower time frame, such that this current bar is going to break below, and then we're going to keep going downward a little bit more. And maybe this is enough to constitute the trendline break, such that we only have one more leg down and then start pushing up higher. But it's a pretty weak buyback if this is all that we're going to get. On the other hand, bulls bulls obviously want to break above this prior bar's high, but I don't know if they would be buying just because of how strong this candle was still. I think they would be seeing the potential for a flag for sure. But it would have made a lot more sense if we reached above it at the start of the candle and then started pushing back down towards this region, because then bulls would be trapped. Bulls aren't really trapped right now, so maybe we still have a potential to push up higher sometime during this 4 hours. Let's actually just take a look at the 1 hour and see what it looked like. So we have this trend line broken here. Maybe even right here or something like that, such that this is the test. And now kind of flagging a little bit here. It's going to look weird to have these two parallel channels on top of each other, but kind of flagging a bit here. I mean, this is like an outside down bar here now. Not quite outside down, but certainly pretty close. It looks like an outside down bar, so it probably can function like an outside down bar. 2 legs up, maybe a short underneath here, an entry underneath here, stop up there with a shot at a second at another leg down towards the bottom of this channel. And that could potentially put in 1, 2, 3, but I mean, yeah, that could put in 1, 2, 3, I guess. Ideally, would have liked to see a really strong, I think that's kind of what this is. I think this is strong enough. This bounce from this low to the high of the channel. Bulls have showed pretty decent strength here. So maybe, this can count as the one shot after this trend line break. I mean, because basically bulls are going to be thinking, we have this dump here. We tried to step in, it failed. We get the second dump. So now we're trying to step in and, that should work. And if that doesn't work, then are we really going to try and step in the third time? I'm not sure. But both times they've shown some sort of strength here and then strength here. Yeah, it would be nice to see them break out of the channel, really, is what we would want to see. I think that would make more sense than to have bulls buying at the bottom of this channel, like knife catching or something like that. You don't want to really catch the knife, but there is a lot of support in this region. Such that if you really do want to take a shot at it, I mean, this is not a bad place to do it, I guess. Assuming that we're going to have this is a third bounce down, but I would assume that even if we do have a third bounce down, we should have a retest of that level, like the horizontal level, and maybe get like a double bottom off of which we can pick up a second entry here and then go. Or even if there's no double bottom, like maybe just still get a better entry down here than waiting and not knowing, like if you either buy up here and feel like an idiot, or when you're in this area and you're worried that it's going to keep going down further. You never know what the deal is, so probably the safest buy would be out here. And as for a short, yeah, we can see kind of a short situation developing here on the chart. The 15-minute just looks... I mean, it kind of looks like 1 push-up, 2 push-up, 3 push-up with a confirmation, and like, so now we're going to dump. Kind of looks like a 1, 1, 2 up there, 1, 2 with a retest, and then this is a 1, 2, or this is a 1, 2 on a 1, 2. But we could just keep having 1, 2s, 1, 2s, 1, 2s all the way throughout this channel, right? And never really get any sort of resolution. But if we did that, then we would break out of this major channel, and that would be a good look for bulls. After that, I would definitely think that the next push down will probably be the last one, especially because we have the confluence with the support regions and the low of this trading range and the low of this channel, and 3 pushes down into it, following after a little bit of a trend line break. Because once bulls break out of this channel, they should be rallying straight to this level where the channel began. And so if we break out of the channel and don't immediately rally there, I would expect the next attempt to rally out of the channel to make it. So that would probably be the better place to pick something up. But yeah, I think on these high time frames, it just looks so strong by the bears on these last, like, how many ever candles this is, 10, 15 bars, that probably more down before. We're probably not just going to break up on the strength of these 2 candles. It's not very strong. I don't think it makes much sense. I think it makes more sense to be looking for shorts, especially at resistance. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say on these macro for our 4-hour 1-day candle.